Hello everybody, my name is Gabrielle and this is Have a Yarn Blog. I'd like to welcome today to our shop here at Grovely, Jenny King from Jenny King Designs.
Thank you for having me.
Jenny.
Thank you.
Jenny is a very well-known crochet designer, local to us. Her shop's on the Sunshine Coast, which is only an hour north of Brisbane. So we're very fortunate to have such a well-known talent here. She's come along today to talk a bit about herself and her work, and she's also come in for a book signing. On the table here we have an example of Jenny's, one of the pieces from Jenny's new book, which is Learn to Do Barbarian Crochet, published by Annie's Attic. She's here to do a bit of a book signing today and talk about her work, and we're going to pick her brains and ask her some interesting questions. So stay with us and enjoy the rest of the show. Okay, so Jenny, I'll start by asking you how long you've been crocheting for.
It's really scary to admit, but it's over 40 years now.
Yep.
I'd like to say I started as a baby, but I was young, so I was only about 8 apparently.
And how did you learn to crochet?
I wanted a bun cover, you know, that you put in your hair. I wanted it so badly that I ran around until I could find someone to show me how to do chain stitch to do one.
Lovely. So you're pretty much self-taught sort of from that
For the most part. Then I learned how to do a granny square when I was staying with a cousin, and by the time we'd finished staying with her, and I suppose it kept us all quiet by doing it, I was faster than she was, but I didn't know any rules. I didn't know how to hold it. I wasn't actually ever game to teach anyone to crochet because I don't hold it the way the book tells you.
Yep. And do you hold your hook overhand or?
I'm a knife.
Like a knife.
No, I'm a pencil holder.
A pencil holder.
Pencil
right.
holder.
So I'm
yep.
an overhand person. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
and that would make it easier for Tunisia.
It is, yes, definitely easier. Okay. And what inspired you to get into designing? Can you recall what the first thing was that you ever designed?
The first thing I ever designed was when I was about 10. The granny square got put to good use to be 4 small squares, and I made it into a poncho, and then I put the funnel neck on it because a roll neck was obviously what it needed.
Sure.
But I didn't have anyone to tell me that that wasn't what I could do. I just filled in the gaps and then made it a neck and went straight up. So I was designing then. The next was a crochet bikini out of a magazine, and then I started to design my own crochet bikinis and sell those in the surf shop.
That's right, and you've still got quite a lot of your patterns. And I did read somewhere that your crochet bikini book was being republished. Is that right?
Yeah, reprinted by popular demand, because there's nothing quite as cheeky out there on the market apparently, but they're modest compared to what we used to wear.
Yeah, definitely.
At the time,
crochet bikinis are making a bit of a comeback, I think. I've seen quite a few patterns in a lot of the American magazines, particularly for crochet bikinis. So, but they've been updated too. So a lot of them aren't necessarily string bikinis anymore. They're more sort of the hot pants, boy leg style, with you know the sort of halter necks and the sort of fuller coverage around the breasts. So, so it's good that a lot of crochet patterns are being updated and modernised, and to accommodate all the new fabrics and the new yarns that we have.
Well, there's so many more yarn choices now than we had before. Although the bikinis I used to do was in a product called DMC Article 173.
Right.
And that was found all up and down the coast.
And that was a mercerised cotton, was it?
It was the most beautiful mercerised cotton. I've even had a little bit of a leftover ball, and one of the yarn companies wanted to try and take it to reproduce it, but no one's ever got it just to the same standard, so it was gorgeous, but in proper DMC style.
Yeah. No, DMC is very good for that sort of quality thread. Okay, lovely. So moving on, what aspects of crochet do you enjoy the most?
The speed.
Yes.
Crochet.
I have to agree with you there. Speed's a big thing
Crocheting
for me.
is so fast, and for a lot of it you don't have to look. I know good knitters don't have to look either, and they they used to be able to knit in the movies and what have you, but crocheting, well, for a yarn store owner, it uses up about 1/3 more yarn.
It does, yep.
The ladies in my shop would churn out a project a week, the ladies who come in, and it's really easy. I mean, it's just so quick. Yeah, I have to say, I used to knit. And I tell everyone I can't knit now, but it was when I was 8, so I think there's a few years between. And once I learned how to crochet and how quickly I could do things, I just didn't have to go back. And there's only one loop.
Yes.
Dropping a stitch, I didn't have anyone to help me.
Yes.
You drop a stitch in crochet and just undo it and start again.
Exactly. And that's what I say to my ladies who learn to crochet, is that basically it's very forgiving crochet. If you make a mistake, it's very easy to pull it back and start again and fix up an error. So it's great from that point of view. So speaking on the aspect of speed, how many hours work do you think would be involved in this particular project, this Afghan pattern here?
I didn't actually make it, but it was made in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks by the lady who did it. I'm not sure that she didn't have her husband make baked beans for tea for a lot of nights.
Yep.
But we crafters are a bit like that. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
things have to get left behind while we do our craft.
That's right, true. And with a Barbarian stitch, I mean, it's really just a 2-stitch repeat, isn't it? Or two row repeat. Yeah. So
the
as long as you know
first,
the stitch.
the first part you start, you think, oh, I'm never going to get it. But once you pass the first 2 rows onto the third, you go, oh, I get it. Okay, I know where I'm going now. It starts to make sense.
Yeah. Oh, good.
But the book does have really detailed instructions and really good illustrations.
Okay, good, excellent. All right, now what fibres do you enjoy working the most with?
I'm a lover of pure wool.
Yes.
And because of its Queensland's cotton, I do like linen, so I tend to like the natural fibres.
Yep.
I love to do a lot of felt work, so that's pure wool and then throw in the washing machine.
That's right, yep.
But yeah, no, definitely, cotton probably the most because of our climate. You know, we have so many months that are hot.
Yeah.
But I love mohair.
Yes.
I do love mohair as well.
Yes, you're either a mohair person or you're not.
Yeah.
I have a lot of ladies who come in who love mohair, but some just look at me and go, oh, break out into hives whenever they see something furry. But
I'd like to be somewhere cold to be able to wear the
yeah,
mohair
for
cardigan
sure.
I've got.
Yeah. I'm doing a hairpin lace stole in some of my GGH mohair at the moment with a metallic thread carried along with it, and that's turning out beautifully. It's really light, and mohair can be a bit frustrating for a crochet because it is very fine, and sometimes it's a bit hard to see where your hook's supposed to be. But for hairpin lace, it's easy to use mohair because of the fact that it's
They're big
long,
loops.
elongated loops, and you could drive a truck through some of those loops, so it'll be all right. You can see what you're doing. Okay, now speaking shop owner to shop owner, what's the most challenging aspect of running your own shop?
Having to do the pesky paperwork, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate.
I have to agree with you there.
I love the customers, and I love to see customers arrive and then just look around and just be overwhelmed with all of the things, and then make sure that they learn to crochet there on the spot if they've never crocheted.
Yeah.
That happens a lot at our place. I'm sure it would happen here too.
Yeah, definitely.
Demystifying crocheting. I've got big chunky yarn and a great big fat hook, and sit them right down and they learn immediately. It probably takes 15 minutes for them to get the hang of crocheting. For the chains, I let them do chains until they're smiling. When they smile, and they can learn the stitches. The hard bit's holding the hook and the thread.
And the tension, getting the tension.
Well, see, I don't even worry about tension right at the beginning. No.
Just basically how to hold it.
It's getting that hand to work and that hand to work, but maybe that's because I'm a bit dyslexic, I think. I know that's not the right term, but I'm sort of a bit uncoordinated. So if they can get that, then the battle's over.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Where do you find you get most of your inspiration from?
Oh, probably just from Queensland. The colours that we have here, I look out to, I think it's a poinciana tree in the next door neighbour's yard, and I just go...
Red flowers?
Red flowers, lime green,
like
that's right. So how can you not love it? I do go on shopping sprees with my daughters to look for anything that's a new and unusual shape in knitwear. Crochet is so far behind with a lot of the things. I know we're catching up a bit, but so far behind with different shapes that knitters have been exploring different shapes for a good while. And there's patterns for it, but there's no crochet patterns for anything that's a bit unusual. And I like unusual, asymmetrical, different things. So I do look for things like that to get a shape that I really, really like, and then something that I know that may fit me, as opposed to being made for a stick insect.
True. I find that crochet is having a bit of a revival at the moment. Just I know through the customers that come into American Yarns that 8 customers to 1 would go for crochet classes or want to learn crochet or having had just learned crochet and have come in and want to do something in crochet. So it's experienced a bit of a revival at the moment, and just looking around the shops I see that there are so many more crochet garments out there at the moment.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I do have a little bit of a heads up of what's happening in England.
Yeah.
And crocheting, we won't believe what is going to happen to crocheted garments in the stores in the UK for our summer next year.
Yeah.
Crocheting is going to be the biggest thing, and if you're not wearing something crocheted, just wish you could.